Good morning, everyone. I will now call to order the August 14th, 2025 Clackamas County Board of Commissioners business meeting. County Administrator Gary Schmidt, would you please call the roll?
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair Savas. First, our staff support today, Clerk to the Board, Andrew Jiraki, Interim County Counsel, Billy Williams, Chair Roberts, and Commissioner Helm are out of the office today. Vice Chair Savas is chairing the meeting. A quorum is present. Roll call. Commissioner West.
Here.
Commissioner Schrader.
Here.
Vice Chair Savas.
Present. Thank you. I will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, now I will open the public meeting for a public communication portion of the meeting. Testimony is limited to 3 minutes per person. I ask that comments be respectful and courteous. As a reminder, you can email submissions for public communication at bcc@clackamas.us, and these will be accepted as part of the public record. I will take in-person testimony first. Clerk, would you please moderate in-person and virtual testimony?
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. If you are attending this meeting today in person and wish to comment on any matter besides the Water Environment Services public hearing that will follow on the agenda, this is your opportunity to please fill out a blue card and deposit in the box found by the center doors. Again, this is a final call if you're attending this meeting in person and wish to comment on any matter besides the Water Environment Services item to please fill out a blue card. Mr. Chair, seeing no members of the public physically present who wish to speak today, I'll now, with your assent, move to those attending virtually. If you're attending this meeting virtually and wish to comment on any matter besides the Water Environment Services public hearing, this is your opportunity to please raise your hand, and I will call on you in the order that I see. This is a final call if you're attending this meeting virtually and wish to speak to please raise your hand. I see no other members of the public, Mr. Vice Chair, either physically present or virtually wish to speak today.
Great, thank you. I will now close the public communication and we will move on. Gary, what is next on the agenda?
Next is a public hearing for Water Environment Services. Chair, if you'll please convene as the Water Environment Services Board. Bottom of page 2, Chair. If you'll convene as the Water Environment Services Board.
I got distracted. I will now convene as Water Environment Services.
That works, thank you. So this is a public hearing for Water Environment Services, approval of a resolution adopting the system development charge methodology and establishing sanitary sewer and stormwater system development charge fees. No county general funds are involved. Greg Geist, Director of Water Environment Services, Aaron Blue, Finance Manager for Water Environment Services, will present. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Gary. Good morning, directors. We've been here twice now on this. We had 2 policy sessions in April. We're talking about system development charges, which is the amount of money that we charge for a typical home to be developed within our service district. The maximum calculated SDC was $12,285. What the board directed us to do was to put out for public comment ramping up to that amount over the next 10 years. So that's where we're at today, and that's what we're trying to get adopted.
Okay. So I have one question, and I'll ask my colleagues if they have any questions. So just to go back a couple discussions ago, the committee's recommendation, the advisory committee's recommendation was what?
The advisory committee recommended ramping up to the full SDC in 5 years. 5 years,
and this, instead what you're doing in a 10-year basis.
Correct.
Right. Right. I do want to thank you, Greg, and Aaron for meeting with me and filling me in on some of the financials. And if I understood correctly, Aaron, there's been a couple years in which the SDCs were not quite adequate enough to meet the capital, and that was backfilled with rate payers. So I know it's right on that edge. You know, I know a couple instances I was not in favor of the 10-year ramp up rather than the 5. And again, just in a matter of process, I'm probably inclined to support it today if my colleagues are there as well. So I know that's a change, but again, I think the insight and knowing where we are financially and your help, Aaron, help guiding me has been helpful. Colleagues, do you have any questions on this?
No.
Okay, so I will, this is a hearing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the script is incorrect. My apologies. If you'll open a public hearing,
Yeah,
please.
so that's why I was, okay, thank you. So I will open a public hearing. Does anyone wish to testify on this matter?
Mr. Vice Chair, I've received no blue cards from anyone attending in person. This is a final call. If you are attending this meeting in person and wish to comment specifically on this matter, to please fill out a blue card and deposit in the center box by the door. Seeing no members of the public physically present, I'll now ask if you're attending virtually and wish to comment on this specific public hearing to please raise your hand. Mr. Vice Chair, I see no members of the public either physically present or virtually who wish to comment on this specific matter.
Okay, I will now close the public hearing and ask if my colleagues have any questions. If not, is there a motion?
I move we approve the system development charge methodology and fees as presented.
Is there a second?
Can I amend or try to amend the motion?
You know, can you, yeah.
Do I
can
need
you?
a second first?
Well,
Yes.
you don't, but maybe can you just elaborate a little bit on the amendment before you
Well-
actually make the motion?
I'm sorry, Chair. Yes, you need a second, or the
Okay, I'll
motion has to
second,
die.
and then I want to discuss.
Right.
I'm seconding, yeah, okay. Sorry, procedurally, just want to, can I amend the motion? Or maybe it's not an amendment, I'm not quite sure, but I know what I want to do.
Share your thoughts first.
What I would like to do is, because we don't have a full board here, I'd like to maybe push this vote out to where the 5 of us are here if possible for a later date. I don't know if the votes are here right now with just 3 of us, but I think it does deserve a full board to vote on this. And so that's, I don't know if I can amend, I don't know if that's amend or replace your
No,
motion.
you would let this motion fail, or the motioner can withdraw the motion, and you can make the second motion
Yeah.
to
As a
postpone.
courtesy, I would withdraw the motion. Well, if I withdraw the motion, do we need to have
A new motion to postpone the hearing, yeah.
okay, but then do we have a discussion?
You
on
can
that?
still discuss the,
We
in
can
general.
discuss this
Yeah.
too. I gave it a second, so we can discuss it, so I don't know where I'm
Okay,
gonna fall
I'll-
yet, but,
I'll withdraw the motion at this point.
or do you not want to discuss your motion, or, I'm just, as an option,
No, I'm just thinking that
this is how the sausage is
this
made.
it's usually pretty straightforward. I don't think that having our 2 other colleagues, one way or the other, is going to
Well,
influence the
I
outcome.
would like to discuss, because I have thoughts around where I'm waffling on this
Okay.
vote, and I am waffling.
So why don't I leave the motion on the table for now, and let's have you hear what you have to say.
And if
for
we vote it
discussion.
up or down, if we vote it up, then it moves forward. If we vote it down, then I will make a second motion. How does that sound?
If you approve it today, you're done.
And
If the
we don't
motion
approve it
fails,
today,
then
I'm
you
gonna make
would
a motion to
postpone the
to-
hearing.
We
to
have to have,
postpone the
and we
hearing.
have to have all 3 of us, yes, correct.
Three of you must vote
I
yes.
would just suggest then, just seeing how things are playing out here, that maybe just suggest that, Commissioner, you withdraw the motion.
I'll withdraw the motion. Let's just make this as straightforward as possible.
And I will be, as I kind of stated earlier, I just want to restate what I mentioned earlier. I was knowing, I thought that the board was 4-1. The last time I was the one oddball out.
I'm leaning, I'll tell you where I'm leaning a no.
Okay,
But
okay.
but I have some like strong feelings about this, so I have no problem expressing and sharing while I'm leaning that way. And I'm kind of waffly, but I have pretty strong viewpoints about why I'm getting there, and they might be different than yours, Commissioner. I know I was not here for the last vote. We have not had a 5-member, we've not had a full board at all for this. It's been bouncing around, and I think because of the feelings around this, it does deserve a 5-member vote.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, well, I was, that's fine. As I stated, I was willing to put my concerns aside with some reassurances I've gotten. I would love to have a conversation with you or with the full 5 of us to do that. So,
You okay with that?
so if there's a motion to postpone, it's in the script.
Is there?
I can
Yes.
do that.
Option 2?
Yep.
Oh, there is, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
I move we postpone the matter and reconsider it at the September 18th, 2025 business meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, been moved and seconded to postpone this matter and reconsider it at the September 18th, 2025 business meeting.
Sorry, Greg.
Any other concerns or questions?
Just thank you for all you do, is what I want to
You
say.
can do it again.
And this isn't, this isn't so time sensitive that it's, am I correct? Okay, great. All right,
Yep.
then we should just wait till we get everybody together. Yep. Okay.
And Commissioner West, I'd encourage you to talk to
Yes.
both Greg and Aaron.
Please, yeah.
I have a couple times, so I had to get my comfort level. to
Some of the
where it is.
haulers came up and we had a long conversation. I was really candid with like why I'm at where I'm at. I'd be more than happy to bounce those ideas past you, Greg, and your team. And I'm not saying I'm a no, but I have some like overall concerns about kind of the way kind of moving forward with these increases and how it really impacts real working people's lives, period, and just kind of the principles around that kind of thought. And how a lot of this seems to be driven by Metro and other things that also dictates like what impacts the haulers. So, and the different service providers, West and then their fees, and to me, they're all kind of the same philosophy that's impacting my thought decision. So I love to bounce those ideas past you.
Happy to sit
Yeah.
down. Yep.
Yeah, and just as a quick response to that, the reason I trust West so much is they've done an excellent job over the years of actually keeping the costs down for ratepayers. And I will say and when Diana's back too, who's worked very closely with Wes, which is one of the reasons I'm glad she's here as one of our commissioners now, not just on an advisory capacity. They've been very, very careful and responsible to the notion of, the public can only take so many things, and they really have done a good job balancing the need for the operating costs of the new infrastructure or building it and operating it versus, okay, how low can we keep the rates and still manage to keep a level of infrastructure excellence? So,
And I don't mean to conflate the two. So like, I know you guys aren't haulers and doing the garbage rooms, but like, these are all like little things that are hitting ratepayers along the way as a overall services provided. And so I don't mean to conflate the two, but my thinking around why I'm where I'm at is similar for that reason over there, that I had issues with the increase in the garbage rates versus like in out west. So I'm not being articulate, but like I don't want to conflate the two, but my thought process is impacted by that.
yeah. And I will acknowledge, though, truly, though, that the notion of the overlay of a metropolitan government has complicated everything. There is times when I think it would be far simpler and we could probably even do a better job. But we have these initiatives coming from Metro, well-meaning, but costly. And that is part of the problem. But that's in a sense, and it's that part of it is, relatively speaking, out of our control. We can be at the table,
Yeah.
but we don't always, reason is not always listened to.
And
So-
I appreciate the time. Like I was away on naval orders, like doing naval duty, so I didn't get a chance to dive into this, maybe the same depth on this specific West issue that my colleagues did. And I'm clearly still a little bit jumbled in my thoughts around it. So I do appreciate the time and doing it with the 5-member board. So thank you.
All right, so we'll bring it back, and before I call for the poll, or have the clerk call for the poll, I will just want to reiterate, I understand where you're at, and the other thing that factored in those same concerns, which household impacts, right? People being able to pay their bills was, we had a transportation package looming that was very
That's right.
large. So that added to that household impact, and I've explained that as well. So you're saying the same thing, essentially.
Yeah.
All right. Clerk, could you please call the poll?
Director West.
Aye.
Director Schrader.
Aye.
Mr. Vice Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0, Mr. Vice Chair.
Okay. So let me get myself, I know the script was a little bit off here. So what's next, Gary?
Bottom of page 3, please, Vice Chair. Reconvene as the Board of Commissioners, please.
I will now reconvene or adjourn as the Water Environmental Services and reconvene as Board of County Commissioners. Gary, what is
Thank
next?
you, Vice Chair. Next is the consent agenda for the Board of County Commissioners. Andrew, would you please read the consent agenda?
Consent agenda for the Board of County Commissioners. Item A, elected officials. 1, approval of previous business meeting minutes for the Board of County Commissioners. 2, approval of a work order contract with DPI Security for entrance security personnel at the County Courthouse and Justice Court. Contract value is $738,554.88 for 1 year. Funding is through budgeted county general funds. 3, approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the City of West Lynn Police Department for retail crime investigation reimbursement. Agreement value is $10,000 for 14 months. Funding is through the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission. No county general funds are involved. 4, approval of a grant application to the Oregon Department of Justice for services to crime victims. Grant value is approximately $500,000 for 1 year. Funding is through the Oregon Department of Justice. No county general funds are involved. B, county administration. 1, approval of a separation agreement with Jane Vetto related to employment at Clackamas County. Agreement value is $253,596.01. Funding is through budgeted county general funds. 2, approval of a social games license for Rounders Poker Club in Estacada. License value is $25 for 1 year. Funding is to the applicant. No county general funds are involved. C, finance. 1, approval of an amendment to a public improvement contract with A.C. Schaumer & Sons for additional stabilization center construction work. Amendment value is $791,516.55. Total contract value is $2,424,508.55 for 15 months. Funding is through the Oregon Department of Administrative Services. No county general funds are involved. D, technology services. 1, approval of a purchase order to Dell Marketing LP for Adobe Enterprise Virtual Document Services. Contract value is $199,162.47 for 1 year. Funding is through departmental cost allocation and direct departmental billing, which may include a small portion of budgeted county general funds. E, tourism. 1, approval of a professional services contract with Travel Oregon for Mount Hood and Columbia River Gorge Regional Cooperative Tourism Plan implementation funds. Contract value is $500,000 for 1 year. Funding is through Travel Oregon. No county general funds are involved. 2, approval of professional services contract with Travel Portland for Portland Regional Cooperative Tourism Plan implementation funds. Contract value is $193,225 for 1 year. Funding is through Travel Portland. No county general funds are involved. F, disaster management. 1, approval of a grant agreement with the City of Portland for Urban Area Security Initiative equipment. Grant value is $269,103 for 20 months. Funding is to the Federal Emergency Management Agency. No county general funds are involved. G, transportation development. 1, approval of a funding agreement with the Museum of the Oregon Territory for educational programs, historical preservation work, and venue maintenance. Agreement value is $100,000 for 10 months. Funding is through county allocated lottery dollars. No county general funds are involved. 2, approval of a funding agreement with the Clackamas County Arts Alliance for support to artistic organizations and public art exhibitions throughout the county. Agreement value is $110,000 for 10 months. Funding is through county allocated lottery dollars. No county general funds are involved. 3, approval of a public improvement contract with Knife River Corporation Northwest for pavement overlay and construction for the Johnson Creek Boulevard Improvements Project. Contract value is $1,964,999.22 for 18 months. Funding is through the County Road Fund. No county general funds are involved. H, Health, Housing, and Human Services. 1, approval of an amendment to a personal services contract with Do Good Multnomah for supportive housing case management at Clayton Moore Commons. Amendment value is $333,783 for 1 year. Total contract value is $937,981.43 for 4 years. Funding is through supportive housing services measure funds. No county general funds are involved. 2, approval of an amendment to a revenue intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Health Authority for additional months of services and new reporting requirements. Amendment value is $5,196,299.78 for 6 months. Total agreement value is $22,531,281 for 2 years. Funding is to the Oregon Health Authority. No county general funds are involved. 3, approval of a revenue intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Department of Human Services for educational outreach to Medicare recipients. Agreement value is $20,000 and $328 for 1 year. Funding is through the Oregon Department of Human Services. No county general funds are involved. 4, approval of participation agreement with the Oregon Network of Community Health Centers for county health centers to join the Oregon Network. Agreement value is $242,000 for 11 years. Funding is through health centers' fees for services. No county general funds are involved. 5, approval of a personal services contract with Comp Health Medical Staffing for temporary nurse practitioners and physician assistants. Contract value is $500,000 for 5 years. Funding is through health centers' fees for services. No county general funds are involved. Mr. Vice Chair, that concludes the consent agenda.
Great, thank you. Do any of my colleagues wish to remove an item from this consent agenda? May I have a motion?
Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner West, seconded by Commissioner Schrader to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the poll.
Commissioner Schrader,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Mr. Vice Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0, Mr. Vice Chair.
Great, thank you. Gary, what is next?
Thank you. Next is County Administrator Update. That's me. I like to share the great work of our county employees, which I will, and then I have a few other announcements for you. First, today, I want to recognize our staff in our Planning Division of Transportation and Development, in particular Anthony D. Simone and Scott Hoschler. They received a nice complimentary letter from a member of the public, and I'll read that to you. After I raised safety concerns about Southeast Hill Road, Anthony and Scott offered to meet with me in person and walked the area to better understand the challenges. We discussed visibility issues, the lack of sidewalks and bike lanes, and the overall safety concerns for pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers alike. I was very impressed by their thoughtful engagement, clear explanations about road classifications and right-of-way, and their willingness to explore both immediate and long-term improvements, including vegetation maintenance, radar speed signs, and potential pedestrian infrastructure. Their visit made me feel heard and taken seriously as a resident, and I truly appreciated their responsiveness and professionalism. I thought you might like to know that their work in the community is being noticed and valued. Thank you, Anthony and Scott, and our entire planning team for the work they do to serve the public every day. Next, my quick announcements. I've said it already. I'll say it one more time. Today, Thursday, August 14th, at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, Multnomah County will conduct a wireless emergency test. This is a system test to address emergency alert capabilities, and it will come through on every single person that owns a cell phone that is turned on with a vibration, a loud tone, and a text message. The good news, this is just an alert and nothing needs to occur. Because, though, how cell towers work, this signal will also be received in parts of Clackamas County and Washington County. So when you receive this test notice, please, it is a test, it is not a real emergency. Please do not call 911. We don't want to overtax our system for people who really do have an emergency, and the lines will be blocked. So again, this test is occurring today, Thursday, August 14th, 2 p.m. Pacific Time, a wireless emergency test, primarily in Multnomah County, but it will come over into Clackamas and Washington counties. Just FYI. Finally, the Board of Commissioners will be on recess from August 15, 2025 through September 2nd, 2025. There will be no board meetings during that time. The next board business meeting is 2 weeks from today, 3 weeks from today on Thursday, September 4th, 2025. 2 weeks from, how long is this? The next meeting is Thursday, September 4th, 2025 at 10 a.m. That is my update for today. Thank you, Commissioners.
Great. Thank you, Gary. Commissioner Schrader, it's now time for Commissioner Communications.
Well, I just want to start by thanking everybody for wishing me a happy birthday the other day. Then I subsequently, because I'm getting old, went to the gym and made myself very sore, but I'm trying to keep a youthful attitude as I move into seniorhood here. And again, I was grateful for your kindness at the fair and the happy birthday. And I'll be seeing my sons tomorrow for a belated birthday dinner, and I heard from my daughters, which is fantastic. And yeah, everybody's doing good. And I'm looking forward to a break, but I'll be very busy during my break because I've mentioned to Gary and you colleagues a number of times, I'm going to be starting my work to become the president of the National Association of Counties. We haven't had a president from Oregon for the National Association, since it was Commissioner Hansel at the time did it, and then before him, Randy Franke. So if I'm successful, I would be the first woman, I think, from Oregon to do that. So I'll be making lots of phone calls. I'll be talking to my colleagues, and one of the themes I always bring to the table, I say the not left, not right, but forward theme, because my attitude is we are all members of a commonwealth. We all have citizens, and that we need to take what I call a citizen-centered approach to things, and that we need to build communities so we can have discussions across the table with one another despite our differences. To come to the commonality, it means to be participatory citizens, respecting one another, learning to really dive into totally different opinions, overcome stereotypes, all those kinds of things that I think, particularly when our communities were smaller and we didn't have the internet and some of these other technologically advanced communication programs, it was really more at the Kiwanis, the Rotaries, the kitchen table. And you could vehemently, I lived in Canby for a number of years, 36 years after growing up in New York City in a suburban area. And if you didn't think that was culture shock, it was. But I learned in a rural community the importance of trying to understand one another and listen to one another, and really had to take a lot of time to understand another person's viewpoint, which, coming from an urban area, was quite different. Outside of New York City, was quite different than what I was learning in that small community, which at the time was 2,000 people. Obviously, now it's grown. And I would tell you that my living in Canby was really probably one of the most profound learning experiences of my life, because I had to understand citizens who had different viewpoints, and it taught me how to be in a local community and reflect the traditions and learnings from that rural community. And I also sometimes try to bring an urban perspective too. So I think it was growth. And so that's kind of the theme I'd like to bring as I attempt to do this at the national level. And I've talked to folks, and so has Ben, actually, by the way. They love you in Texas, Ben, I have to tell you. They love you in Texas. So folks from the Northeast, the middle of the country, the Midwest, our western region, our southern region. I'll be traveling throughout there, not at the county's expense, by the way, okay, to really kind of bring this theme together. And one of the reasons I'm interested in the national work is it's very important for people to understand that counties can't do it alone. We have over 3,000 counties in this country. And the bottom line is, most of the time, we are the original government, by the way. In the 1600s, counties were founded in Virginia. We are actually truly the largest and the oldest notion of a commonwealth, counties. And the word sheriff comes from the word shire, which is an English word, and that's they had counties and shires in England, so it was kind of this historic piece that we forget. And the reason why counties are important, not only are we I think the oldest kind of first government here, I personally think we are usually the most effective. Because we do everything from public health to behavioral health to infrastructure work, you name it. We have a hand in it. And we're also very close to our citizens. We're that level of government where we not only do policy, we're actually hands-on. And I think that's what I like most about the counties, is that, you go to the grocery store and you see the people that you're elected to work for. So in any case, I just wanted to let you know that's going on. I'm excited about it. I hope we can support, and I hope the citizens of Clackamas County recognize that this is an important thing for our county, and that we need this so we can continue to have really, really important communication with our federal partnerships. Because the other thing I keep telling people, a lot of what we do depends on revenue streams from the federal government, and it depends on revenue streams from the state. And we're the ones on the ground that know how to implement everything we need to do for our citizens. So thanks. I'm looking forward to the break, but it'll be a working break. And I want to thank you guys for your support, and my other colleagues who aren't here as well. I also want to thank our administrator, Gary, who has been a friend and has encouraged me to stretch myself from the get-go. So, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Commissioner Schrader. Commissioner West.
Thank you, Commissioner Schrader. I am excited for your run at president of NACO, and of course, I will do whatever I can to help you get elected. It's good for Oregon, it's good for Clackamas County. And one of the favorite things I love that you do is that you push good government over ideology.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's about getting the work done in a pragmatic way, and I really appreciate that about you, Commissioner Schrader. You have a long legacy of leading in that manner, so thank you, and you'll be an excellent president of NACO, and we'll help you get over the finish line.
Gotta bring me Texas, buddy.
We'll work on Texas and a few other states. We'll get you those votes. I'll be at the rodeo tonight. The Clackamas County Fair and Canby Rodeo is going, and it's not going to be as hot today as it was the last 2 days. So it would be a great day to go to the rodeo, or even Friday. It goes through Saturday. And so I recommend that if you haven't had a chance to get out there, make plans to do so. It's a wonderful event. A lot of great things are happening there. I'm excited for the break. Be safe. I know by the time we come back, kids will be back in school. And I know a lot of kids start at the end of August, and a lot of the kiddos are back the first week after Labor Day. And so enjoy your final days of summer. Be safe when you're out there. But we are excited to have the kiddos back in school, and so that's a really fun time of year for everybody. And I don't have much to add beyond that today. I'll still be working throughout the break also, but getting some family time the last couple weeks of August too, which is much needed. And I don't have much to add, but I hope you guys enjoy your break too.
Yep. Thank you, Commissioner West. I too will be already have my calendars kind of filling up. Not because of staff. Appreciate that, but the responsibilities that come with this job. And if I'm available, then I will certainly be attending events, and including conversation I have today and tomorrow, and a little event I'm going to on Saturday, the Jennings Lodge annual picnic, which is kind of a neat thing to do. It's this Saturday afternoon. I think about 2 or 3. I'm happy to share the details with them. I do want to just thank Vanessa for her comments. Gary, you read her message to our staff and appreciating staff for what they do. I met her a few months ago at a community meeting, and she's like newly getting involved and taking things seriously, and I encourage her to sign up for some committees. I think she's done that. And so bringing in more people, new people into the public service level as volunteers is always appreciated. And the fair or the 4-H or FFA, all of the things, the rodeo, doesn't matter. We rely on and have a huge volunteer base in Clackamas County, and I really appreciate that. And people that are keeping an eye on it in their area of interest is something that, number one, they bring that passion because it is their interest, and they bring that knowledge. And so they're the ears to the ground, if you will, and keeps us informed and try to make the best as we can. So thank you, Vanessa, and all the other volunteers that contribute to making Clackamas County what it is today. Because we'll be on break, there'll be kind of a significant day that we're not going to be sitting as a Board of Commissioners. That'll be beginning August 29th with a special session.
That's right.
And as I told Gary this morning, every day I drive into work, I reflect on something that happened and how to either improve or cope with the challenges we have today. So my flashback is 8 years ago. 8 years ago when the governor signed the bill, approximately, not to this day, but the governor signed HB 2017, which had a component called tolling in the bill. And the tolling was to be essentially a study, which grew into this big monster, and a few years later, HB 3055 was presented to us at this dais. And I had taken a hard stand on tolling back in 2017, and that discussion on HB 3055 was quite difficult. And so I've spent the last 8 years working hard. And if indeed, as we hear, the governor is going to pull that tolling out of the state statutes, that will be a win for not just Clackamas County, but for the Portland Metro region at the very, very least. And as I reflect also on the challenges. Not that anyone in 2017 could have predicted the pandemic and the inflation, but also the impacts to ODOT and so forth and their financial situation, which I think we're all still learning, and I think we're all still hoping that there'll be some kind of clear, defined efficiencies that are found and ways to navigate that to make sure that problems and challenges and things are addressed so that we can get trust back in our government all the way around. That includes us. But again, if that happens when we come back, that tolling will either be pretty well dead or it'll still be alive. We'll see what the governor does and what the state legislature does in the special session. But I did want to bring that out. And I will, I say with a lot of pain that I worked hard, we worked hard not just as a commission, but trying to get a coalition in the county with the mayors and the councilors and our staff. So this was a huge lift. It wasn't any individual effort, but it took a huge lift to do that. And we also got regional partners to help us from other counties on this NAOC. So to me, this is a big deal, what turns out of this on August 29th. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today, and I appreciate our staff's help. Sorry for the hiccups with the script. It doesn't always work out perfectly, but we got there. I remember in my previous roles prior to being on the commission, being the chair, I didn't have a script, so I appreciated being there. When you rely on it, pretty soon you forget how to drive. So, Commissioner West, I see your light's on.
I want to ask you a question on transportation. So do you have any insight on how you think this is going to go? And no matter what happens, do you think that we're done with this transportation package, even if it passes, or if it passes something, do you think we're done? I'm hearing rumblings that there's strong efforts to refer it to the ballot to have it defeated by the voters. Yeah. And that's a real, big names are saying we're referring the whole thing to the ballot. You guys have mishandled this. What are you hearing? I'm just curious about what we might be able to expect.
Well,
we want to hold you to it. You have a crystal ball.
I'm close to it, but I'm not a state legislator, so we're not in the getting the real inside baseball. I heard that too about possibly referring it. I think that, let's just say it passes, whether or not it's referred or successfully referred to the voters, I do believe there'll be more work to be done because it's only a Band-Aid, right? There's still some bleeding. This isn't going to stop it. That initiative, it turns out to be 6 cents, and we get, the counties and cities get their portion. There's still challenges out there. There's challenges with TriMet. There's challenges with ODOT. There's challenges with the number of projects that are, on the, federal funding that may not fly. Inflation's still up. So I think people who care about the system working realize that the cost to fix it or the cost to build it for capacity are the challenges are huge. The money's not there to do it, and we got to pay for it. And I don't care if we just diverted every dime to maintenance, to the absolute maintenance we needed at the state level. I'm just speaking just from what I know about ODOT, and took the remaining monies and only spent it on the capital projects. There's still not enough money to do the capital projects and to do all the maintenance. So there is a shortage. What that number is, I don't know. And I think it would behoove us not to, or behoove the state not to really make that more clear. I know that they've done a lot of work to try to bring that out there, but I don't think that the remedies, when people ask me, my neighbors or people in the community, or just what you did. Yeah. What's really going on, Commissioner?
Yeah.
That kind of approach, I don't have the answer. I don't think they've given me or given us the narrative of what the corrective steps are and actions and what it's going to take to fix it. And if this is a Band-Aid, it's only going to fix a few things. It's not going to cure it. So I did the best I could, Ben.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And you did. I'm concerned because right now the word is that the governor is saying they're doubling down on, we'll just do it with our supermajority. We don't need one Republican vote or any input. Just show up, create the quorum, and good night, goodbye. And I think that that's part of the problem of why we are at where we are today. There has not been a pragmatic bipartisan effort that's been in good faith. And it sounds like in this special session that they're going to try to double down and just do it all with one party rule. I think it's something like transportation is not the smartest way to do it. And I think that is going to lend itself to being referred to the voters. I know we're not going to just today, but this, you've been ahead of, so well-versed in this compared to everybody else on the board.
Well, I would love to have, I never had the opportunity, but I would love to have the opportunity to meet with state leadership
Yeah.
on both sides.
Yeah.
In a room together, and it kind of, at least either be in the room or give some advice that would really be more, try to bring it all together into a middle place that we can land. But I think there's also some things that are more administrative at the ODOT and TriMet side that need to be resolved. And we asked for language to help correct some of that, and I was hopeful that would be in the bill. And what this abbreviated bill will be, doesn't have that language in it. It's not gonna be added. So I'm not gonna be comfortable, no matter what happens, right? So we still gotta solve the problem. But I will tell you this, had the tolling been successful, and knowing the inflation of the Abernathy Bridge cost being
yeah.
triple, that all the preliminary tolling, if they relied on the tolling to pay the debt service and the extreme cost, that those tolls would at least be double what they were told us they were going to be. And again, I don't think they could foresee that, but the backstop to pay the bills would have been the tolling. And that would have been on the backs of, really, because it was a short section here.
Yeah.
Clackamas County residents as well as people passing through. And I think that was why we fought it. We didn't feel it was a fair proposal, and I still believe that.
You're right. We agree, yeah. Thank you.
So I'll have a safe summer. Anything else for the good of the order? Seeing none, we're adjourned.